Ladies and gentle weebs, my fellow flamers of Amethyst, welcome back to another Wuthering Waves video. My name is the Amethyst Abrams, and today we're going to be talking about the Game Awards, and more specifically, the fact that Wuthering Waves has made it to the final stage of the Players' Choice Game of the Year award, and we're going to be discussing it today. Now, this is going to be uncut, this is just going to be my thoughts, and what I think is going to happen within the Game Awards, and what I think is going to happen within the Players' Choice. Do I think Wuthering Waves is going to win the Players' Choice Awards? I genuinely do not know. I genuinely cannot tell you, and the reason why I cannot tell you is because the games that Wuthering Waves is up against they're Titan games. They're Titan games and they're rival games and they are competitors. And what I mean by that is the fact that Wuthering Waves is up against one, Genshin Impact. I'll show you up here now. Wuthering Waves is up against Genshin Impact, which is the sole prime competitor of Wuthering Waves. Them two are direct rivals. It's also up against Zenless Zone Zero, which is Hoyoverse's recent game, which released back in June, which I don't think is going to win the Players' Choice Awards, but the fact that it's made it into the final five, the final stage, is very impressive. It's also up against Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, the DLC of Elden Ring, which for some reason counts as a separate game, even though it is under the category of DLC for a main story game, for a main series game. It comes under the category as DLC. So why this is here, I genuinely don't know. And then we also have Black Myth Wukong, the game that is said to get the Game of the Year. So this has a very, 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 very good chance at winning the Players' Choice Award. And quite frankly, it would deserve it if it did get Players' Choice of the Award. This doesn't get it. This shouldn't even be here. Elden Ring shouldn't even be here. ZZZ, I'm not a big fan of ZZZ, but I understand the fan base and the player base it has. Genshin Impact, I genuinely don't know why Genshin Impact is... No, actually, no, yeah, I do. The fan base is so huge for Genshin Impact, and because the game has been around for, what, 4 years at this point, it already has an established fan base and an established, player base. So that makes sense. And then Wuthering Waves, which is, in my opinion, the underdog here. I think Wuthering Waves is the underdog here. I don't think anyone would... I definitely didn't know that. I wanted this to be here. I'm very happy Wuthering Waves is here, but I didn't realize that it would make it to the final stage of the Players' Choice Awards. Out of all of the games that's released from December, end of December last year to now, the fact that this has made it, this has made it, is huge. The fact that Wuthering Waves is in the final five is huge, and I would love nothing more than to have Wuthering Waves win the Players' Choice Game of the Year award. We have to also take into account that one of the games that it's up against is up for the Game of the Year and has a very good chance of winning the Game of the Year. So it makes sense for it to also be up for the Players' Choice Award. Elden Ring, again, that should be under the DLC of the year or add-on of the year or something. It shouldn't be a separate game. It shouldn't be counted as a separate game. I do not care that the Shadow of the Erdtree is just as big as the base game of Elden Ring. It comes under the category of DLC. It was intended as an expansion, which is DLC. Downloadable content, an extension of the base game. It is not a separate game. If they released it as a sequel, and they said it is a sequel game, and they released it separately, then fine, it deserves to be here. But the fact that it is just an extension and expansion of the base game, it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't even be on Game of the Year, to be honest. But I guess these people consider that the size of the expansion is just as big as the base game of Elden Ring, which is huge, by the way. The base game of Elden Ring was huge, and the fact that Shadow is just as big as the base game, I understand why people consider it a separate game, but the facts are the facts. It is DLC. It is an expansion of Elden Ring. Genshin Impact, to be honest, I'm sick and tired of seeing that game here. I understand why it's on the Player's Choice, but why it's here this year specifically, when most of this year for Genshin Impact, Natlan has been a disappointment, a gap fest, boring, boring, and I don't think it deserves to be here. People can call me a Genshin Impact hater. People can call me a Hoyoverse hater. I don't care. ZZZ deserves to be there. Honkai Star Rail would probably be more deserving of being there than Genshin, but for some reason Genshin Impact made it, made the cut. Wuthering Waves has had an exceptional year. From the moment of release, now granted the release was a little bit rocky. We did have a rocky start to the year for Wuthering Waves with the state that the game was released. However, Kuro Games has proven time and time and time and time again that they are here for the player base. They are here to listen to what the players want, and they have released banger after banger after banger patches. They have. You cannot tell me they haven't. The only one that was a slow patch was 1.2, and they even said it was a festival filler patch. It was a filler. It was a festival event. It was an event patch, and they even gave us a free premium 5-star. One of the best premium 5-stars in the entire game, arguably. And especially if you want to clear the endgame content, Zhang Liao, which is the free 5-star that we got, he's one of the best picks to clear the content, the endgame content in Wuthering Waves. And so many game of life, the quality of life and changes have been made to the game because of the developer, and because of those changes, the game has evolved and succeeded itself. And it has gone far beyond what I think any of us would have thought for a gacha game, and I think it's the most innovative gacha game that we've had. I just think it is. From the exploration, to the story, to the events, to the free 5-stars, to the quality of life changes, to everything. The content, it feels more... This is the gacha game that feels like the most complete game. Like, if someone was to say, out of all of the gacha games, the most popular gacha games, which one fits the bill for being the closest to a AAA game? At this point in time, Wuthering Waves is that game. It is that game. It's releasing on PlayStation in January as well, and I have no doubt it's going to help the game massively, and it's going to gain even more popularity. 2.0 is right around. Rinascita releases on January 2nd alongside the PlayStation release of this game. You cannot tell me that is not going to shake the boat, and that is not going to do something amazing for Wuthering Waves. Bring more money for Kuro. Bring a larger player base, a different player base that hasn't got a PC and cannot run it on their mobile. I think it's huge. I think it's huge, and I think out of the games that are on the Players' Choice Awards, I believe it should be Black Myth Wukong or Wuthering Waves. ZZZ, I don't like ZZZ, but I can understand why people like ZZZ. I don't think it's inherently a bad game. It's just not for me. That's my opinion on ZZZ. Genshin Impact, I don't like it. I'm done with that game. I wanted that game to succeed so much, but time and time and time again, Hoyoverse has fumbled the bag and given us dog water updates for the past good couple of years. Since I stopped playing. And even then, Sumeru was dog shit. That's when I stopped playing, when Sumeru was a thing. And then Elden Ring, an outstanding DLC. Shadow of the Erdtree was magnifique, but it's a fucking DLC. It has no right to be here. It is a DLC thing. It's DLC content. It's not a separate game. They should have released it on a separate disc and a separate app and a separate purchase for you to download separately, not an update to Elden Ring. Then it could be here. But it didn't, and it wasn't, so it shouldn't be here. Wuthering Waves has done so well. Wuthering Waves has done so well this year, and they have exceeded everyone's expectations, and the only people that shits on this game and say it's bad and say it's shit and say it's not in depth and basically just say Genshin Impact's better are Genshin fans or Hoyo shills. Okay, look, Honkai Star Rail, good game. That probably should be deserving to be here. Yeah, ZZZ, I can understand why it's here. I could understand. It's popular, it has its fan base, it's inherently not a bad game, fine. This, why is this here? Why is this here? This shouldn't be here. This should be here. Wukong's an amazing game. This should be here. Hell, bloody why Sparking Zero should be here. Should have the opportunity to be here. Bloody Helldivers should have probably been here. I wouldn't be surprised if Power World made it to the finals. I know they got kicked out the last one. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marines should have had the opportunity to be here. Why? I mean, a lot of people are getting angry because there's 3 gacha games here, and some people are like, I don't understand why a lot of these AAA games have lost to 3 gacha games in the final stage. But it is what it is. I really hope Wuthering Waves wins Player's Choice. 1, I love the game. 2, I think it's innovated and evolved and just taken the gacha scene by storm, and also free stuff. But yeah, so I voted for Wuthering Waves. I just logged into my another account, just so I can show you who's here and them being highlighted. And yeah, I honestly do believe that that this will be interesting in seeing who will win the Player's Choice Award. I want it to be Wuthering Waves. I want it to be Wuthering Waves. I wouldn't be surprised if it was also Black Myth Wukong, and I guess if ZZZ won it, I wouldn't like it, but I wouldn't hate it. If Shadow of the Erdtree wins, I'm gonna be a bit mad because it. I mean, I guess it's Player's Choice Award, but again, it shouldn't be counted as a second game. It should be treated as DLC, because that's exactly what it is. It's the Player's Choice Game of the Year award. If there was, like, you know, best expansion of the year, best DLC of the year, best add-on of the year, or best content of the year, then sure. But to call it a separate game, nah, I'm sorry, I can't. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's my opinion on the Player's Choice Award. That's my opinion on what I think is going to happen and why I want Wuthering Waves to win. And we'll find out very, very soon who's going to win. The Player's Choice Awards is 2 days away. It's 2 days away. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see what happens Friday night. I may go live for it. I might go live for it, guys. Who knows? But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, everyone.